Good morning, and today is Thanksgiving. This is Sanctorum 16, and last couple days I've been a bit busy. Haven't been able to work on this as much as I would have liked. I made kind of the plan was to do this every single day, and there's been several times where I've missed or skipped or whatever. So I'm gonna be able to get back onto it now. My schedule's freed up a little bit, but did get a chance to work on it a little bit last night, and just wanted to show you the update. I got Adam completed, and there's a little close-up, and he is connected there with Eve, just showing their mutual relationship, their interdependence, and also their mutual guilt because of original sin. So one of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately, I am actually very attracted to Eastern Orthodoxy. Probably for a good part of the last year is something I've been reading more about, thinking more about, looking into. Visit Orthodox Church. For a while there, I was going pretty consistently before COVID hit and that kind of thing. And just been thinking about it. I may share this more in other videos. I became Christian in a Southern Baptist church and adopted a more reformed view of theology, more Calvinistic in understanding the Bible. And so I've been starting to question that, and at the same time looking at Eastern Orthodoxy. So when it comes to original sin and comes to Adam and Eve, I have a very different view from a Calvinist, Reformed, Protestant perspective. The main difference being that we don't inherit Adam's guilt. We inherit his sin nature, his proclivity to sin, his brokenness, those kind of things, but not his guilt. We have to deal with guilt for our own sin. And so that would be the major difference. So for them, for example, when a baby is born innocent until guilty because of the baby's own sin, which in my superficial thinking about it makes a lot more sense, because as a Calvinist, Reformed person, like you're saying that baby has inherited Adam's guilt and therefore still needs Christ to die for that baby because of guilt. So there's some issues on the other side as well. You know, if we don't have to deal with our guilt till we actually sin, that potentially makes a baby innocent and without sin, and therefore having no need of the cross. So I'm still trying to work out all the implications of that, and I could even have my own view wrong, but I'm just meditating and thinking and wrestling through what is my position and what is the correct way to think about that. So anyways, that's literally what I've been thinking about in drawing Adam. I did some quick reading, watched some YouTube stuff, did some research online just to think through that. I mean, I'm not saying like I went to Wikipedia and stuff like that, but I spent some time just wrestling with what does that mean from both an Orthodox and a Protestant perspective. So, and the other thing too, and this is kind of a side note for probably another video, but the Orthodox hold more of a Christus Victor / modified ransom view of the atonement, and there's a lot that I actually really like about that. It's almost it sounds very familiar to like N.T. Wright's view of the atonement, and I could be wrong on that, but that's just my superficial understanding of it. And so there's a lot that I like about that too, because for me, like my personal struggle is I focus a lot on death. Like, I don't mean that to be in a morbid way. I just mean like solving that problem. You know, I fear it. Like I fear the actual process of it. I don't look forward to that. And I sit there and I think, why is that? And from the Orthodox Christus Victor perspective, deals with that problem. Now, I'm not saying from a Protestant Calvinist position it doesn't, and that's on me. Like I've got to wrestle through that. But that focus seems to be more in the forefront of my experience, but also when you read through the Bible, the emphasis is not so much on sacrifice and justice. I mean, it's a pretty big emphasis, so don't hear me incorrectly here, but there's so much emphasis on the kingdom and power over sin and power over death and power over the authorities of this world. And it's a mix. You can't do it in either or. Now, I was watching one video where at one point in the history of theology, they really posited those two views as either or, and it's not. It's more of a mixture of that. There has to be some kind of sacrifice, substitutional justice that happens in the cross, but at the same time, there also needs to be an emphasis on the power over death and the resurrection, that kind of thing, which is what Orthodoxy really brings to the table. So anyways, this is not a video to say I have the answers. It's a video of what I'm wrestling with and what I'm thinking through, and definitely something that needs years more thought and meditation on to get some clarity. So anyways, that's how art works for me. I draw and I think about what I'm drawing, and it's usually either a reflection of my life or something I'm wrestling with at that time. Even in my comic book work and even in my other fine art and conceptual art that I'm working on. So anyways, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and I will be back tomorrow with another update.